been nice on the lake. It's mid-May, but because we're in mountainous terrain, it still goes down to 30, probably maybe below that at night. So it's been quite, for me, I don't have my my topper that insulated. I thought about it, the space that would, the time, effort, money, and space that would require. And I thought about the timing of it, and I thought that I would be okay with my plans. And if I could do it again, I probably would have insulated the bottom a little bit better. So it is partially insulated. It is not as insulated as it used to be. It is partially insulated. I'm trying to see if I look better, which way I look better. Isn't that beautiful on the side there? So I did take some beautiful mountain and lake shots. Now, there are areas where the riverbeds are dry and full of driftwood. Maybe they have seasons, or maybe there's this changing, or I don't know. And you know this because the bridges are over them. That's where water used to be, and you can tell by the substrate, the sandy substrate, and all of that, and the driftwood. But anyway, so I did. I think that it was better insulated before. I had the that paint over it, over the metal, which I think probably helps a lot. And then it had a different, I had like an Afghan kind of a rug that was very warm. Like I would sleep on it and it was pretty warm. I'm telling you all my secrets, but that worked for me. Now I'm going to tell you, if you want to be, high life and be comfortable, there are a couple of things that definitely an RV where you can stand up and it has a separate bathroom, living room, and kitchen area, or a van that you can stand in. So I chose to stay with my truck, and I think one of the reasons for that was I think for me, the off-road capability, that I feel that I've been in situations where that really helped. Now I'm not saying that a van, but I think that these vans that are made for, hauling, they have very strong engines, but I think that their body is different. So I think you get certain comforts in a van. And one is that sliding door where you just step right out, step right in, and step right out. Unless you have a camper with a stair and a door, that's not happening. In a pickup truck. It's not happening. So I'm not too crazy about, but I don't, about the crawling, but I don't do that a lot, I use it when I need to use it. And then so there's a couple of other things. If you're living outside and you have to carry all your outdoor gear, if you want to do like your tent, and away from the stealth camping and stealth parking, if you want to do just regular camping and you want to live outside, so you can do this in a 4x4 and just have your gear and live outside in nice weather or whatever weather, because people do this in all kinds of weather, I think. Even when it's raining, there are these nice tents that you can have. But what I'm saying is, the weather, you would carry your gear, right? You would have and then you would set it up, and then you would have space, and you would have, you'd walk around, you'd be able to stand up and walk around and and have your separate areas, and a lot of people do that. So if you're not doing that, then you have to kind of be very organized. So with that, I have some reflections. Besides the installation, because I found that you need air regardless. You need air to breathe. So you need some air to come in to breathe. So the insulation is important for when it gets cold, but also even if you have some type of heat going on, of course you need oxygen for that as well. So several things with the insulation, right? So it gets cold at night, and I had just had a blanket, light, and then I was not only one, I wasn't wearing that many layers or anything like that, just regular clothing, a blanket. So I felt like I needed insulation really quickly, but I needed air. So with or without the heat. So the insulation would keep you warm in the case that, you had that little bit of cool air coming in. I know I'm going through all of this and maybe it's redundant. Anyway, the point is, so that was one observation. So second observation, of course, is the climbing, the in and out. So I liked my first configuration with the door. You just come in, lie down. I don't know why I changed that, but that wasn't bad at all. I fit, and it was, we're talking about being on the road, boondocking, where you don't have restrooms, or if you do, it's an outhouse, or, you're pretty much living out of your vehicle, or if you're stealth parking or stealth camping. So, that I'm reflecting on that wasn't too bad, but I didn't have a lot of space in the back, so I think that's why I went with kind of changing it up. So number 2 is, I think the space requires some items to be, of course, smaller. So when you're doing your transition from your home, of course you want to go with the smallest items you have, but when you have a home, you're probably not buying the smallest items at that moment, right? So, number 3, even though I felt I should get a refrigerator, I haven't needed it. I think that organizing my food just a little bit differently. I didn't think I brought that much food, and we'll know in a month's time, let's say, or 2 months' time. But the food does take up space. So maybe, I don't know, I'm reflecting, maybe a little bit less of it, or I'm not sure. You should, everyone should have their rations for when they need it. But I've just begun it, so let's see. And then, so smaller items. There are one or two little items that I think I can make smaller, and sturdier. And then, of course, everybody wants cabinetry. So in my mind, I wanted the space, and everyone that has a bed, a truck bed, knows that you are really probably more than, a large van. You're really rationing that space. It's not tall, it's not wide, and so you're really trying to divide that space up really well. So I think that there are areas that I made for convenience, and that's working out well, but I think that there is a little bit of room for improvement. So I have a no-build build. Isn't that gorgeous on the side there? Hold on, let me show you what we're passing by here. So some beautiful shots of the mountains, and we really have to take care of our national parks. Okay, Okay guys, so I think I'm going to cut this short a bit, and what I was saying about no build is that you're constantly grabbing for things, so organization is key. Smaller items are key as well. Anyway, if you found this helpful, please like and subscribe. I am really grateful for your support, and thanks for joining. See you in the next video.